The rain hammered against the windows of my small apartment in Seattle, each drop a painful reminder of the storm raging inside me. My name is Silas, and until a few weeks ago I thought I had it all. A comfortable life, a beautiful wife, and a career as a software architect that I genuinely loved. I was 43, and I felt like I was finally hitting my stride. My wife, Imogen, was a successful marketing executive, and we had been married for 15 years. We met in college, two awkward kids fumbling through life, and somehow we found each other. Our life wasn't perfect, of course. We had our share of disagreements, the usual ebb and flow of any long-term relationship. But underneath it all, I believed there was a deep, unshakable love, or at least that's what I told myself. The first crack in the facade appeared subtly. Imogen started working longer hours, citing a major new project at her company. I didn't think much of it at first. We were both career-driven, and I understood the demands of her job. But then came the late-night business dinners, the weekend conferences in other cities, and the general air of secrecy that seemed to envelop her. I tried to brush it off, attributing it to stress and the pressures of her work. But a nagging doubt began to creep into my mind, a whisper of unease that I couldn't quite ignore. The turning point came on a Tuesday morning. I was working from home that day, wrestling with a particularly stubborn piece of code. Imogen had left for work earlier, but around 10 a.m. she called me. Her voice was strained, almost breathless. "Silas, I need you to do me a favor," she said. "I forgot my presentation slides at home. Can you drop them off at my office? It's really important." Of course, I agreed. Anything for my wife. Her office was downtown, a sleek glass tower that always felt a little too corporate for my taste. I found the slides on her desk, grabbed them, and headed out. As I was leaving, I noticed a small, brightly colored envelope tucked under her keyboard. It looked like a birthday card. I hesitated. It wasn't my birthday, and we usually celebrated special occasions together. Curiosity, that insidious little devil, got the better of me. I picked up the envelope and opened it. Inside was a handwritten note. It read, "Imogen, meeting you has been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I can't wait for our weekend in Portland. Love, Jasper." My blood ran cold. Jasper? Who the hell was Jasper? The world seemed to tilt on its axis. My heart pounded in my chest, a frantic drumbeat of disbelief and rising anger. I crumpled the note in my fist, my knuckles white. I needed to know more. I needed to understand. I walked back to her desk and started searching. I knew it was wrong, a violation of her privacy, but I couldn't stop myself. I checked her drawers, her files, anything that might shed light on this Jasper. And then I found it. A second phone hidden in the back of her desk drawer. A burner phone. My hands trembled as I picked it up. It was password protected, but I knew Imogen's birthday. I typed it in and the phone unlocked. The messages were there, laid bare in all their ugly detail. Texts, photos, and explicit conversations between Imogen and Jasper. Plans for secret rendezvous, declarations of love, and promises of a future together. I sank into her chair, the weight of the betrayal crushing me. It was real. It was happening. My wife, the woman I had loved and trusted for 15 years, was having an affair. The rage that surged through me was unlike anything I had ever experienced. I wanted to scream, to break things, to confront her right then and there. But I knew that wouldn't accomplish anything. I needed to be smart, to gather evidence, to plan my next move. I took screenshots of the messages, downloaded the photos, and carefully documented everything. Then I put the phone back exactly where I found it, replaced the card, and left her office. As I walked out into the Seattle rain, I felt like a shell of a man. The world around me seemed muted, unreal. How could she do this to me? What had I done to deserve this? Over the next few days, I played the part of the unsuspecting husband. I smiled, I made small talk, I even went out to dinner with her, all the while knowing the truth that lay hidden beneath the surface. It was agonizing, a constant tightrope walk between sanity and despair. But I knew I had to keep it together, at least until I had a plan. I confided in my best friend, Emmett, a gruff but loyal guy who had always been there for me. When I told him what I had discovered, he was furious. "That cheating witch," he exclaimed. "You need to expose her, Silas. Don't let her get away with this." Emmett's advice was tempting, but I knew I needed to be careful. I didn't want to make a rash decision that I would later regret. I decided to hire a private investigator, someone who could gather more information about Jasper and Imogen's affair. I found a reputable agency online and scheduled a meeting with a detective named Mallory. She was sharp, professional, and surprisingly empathetic. "I've seen this 1,000 times, Silas," she said. "People cheat for all sorts of reasons, but it's never about you. It's always about them." Mallory and her team got to work, and within a week they had compiled a detailed report on Jasper. His real name was Jasper Thornton, and he was a wealthy venture capitalist who had recently moved to Seattle. He was married, with 2 young children. He had a reputation for being a womanizer, a serial cheater who preyed on vulnerable women. My blood boiled as I read the report. Imogen wasn't just having an affair. She was involved with a manipulative, morally bankrupt scumbag. The report also included photos and videos of Imogen and Jasper together, leaving no doubt about the nature of their relationship. They were brazen, meeting in hotels, restaurants, and even at Jasper's house when his wife was out of town. The evidence was overwhelming. It was time to confront Imogen. I waited for her to come home from work that evening. I had prepared a speech, a calm, rational explanation of what I knew and how I felt. But when she walked through the door, all my carefully crafted words vanished. The sight of her, so beautiful and composed, filled me with a renewed sense of betrayal. "Silas, is everything okay?" asked, sensing the tension in the air. "You seem different." "Different," I said, my voice dripping with sarcasm. "You have no idea how different things are, Imogen." I took a deep breath and pulled out the photos from Mallory's report. I tossed them onto the coffee table, watching as her face drained of color. "Care to explain these?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. She stared at the photos, her eyes wide with panic. "Silas, I don't even try to lie to me," I interrupted. "I know everything. The burner phone, the messages, the secret rendezvous. I know about Jasper." Tears streamed down her face as she finally confessed. She admitted to the affair, claiming that she had been feeling neglected and unappreciated in our marriage. She said that Jasper had made her feel alive again, that he had given her the attention and affection that I had failed to provide. I listened in stunned silence, my heart breaking with each word. How could she twist the narrative like that? How could she blame me for her betrayal? "So it's my fault?" I asked, my voice trembling with anger. "Is that what you're saying, that I drove you into the arms of another man?" "No, Silas, that's not what I mean," she sobbed. "I'm just trying to explain what, Imogen?" I shouted. "Explain how you could betray me, lie to me, and destroy everything we've built together. Explain how you could be so selfish and cruel." The argument escalated, fueled by years of unspoken resentments and unresolved conflicts. We yelled, we cried, we hurled accusations at each other until finally we both collapsed in exhaustion, the weight of our shattered marriage pressing down on us. "I want a divorce," I said, the words heavy and final. "I can't do this anymore. I can't be with someone I don't trust, someone who is capable of such profound betrayal." Imogen didn't argue. She knew it was over. She packed a bag and left that night, leaving me alone in the empty apartment, surrounded by the ghosts of our past. The divorce was messy and contentious. Imogen fought me on everything, trying to take as much as she could, but I was determined to protect myself and my future. I hired a lawyer who was as ruthless as she was, and we battled it out in court. In the end, I got the apartment, the car, and a fair share of our assets. It wasn't a victory, but it was a start. As I was going through the divorce proceedings, I decided to take action against Jasper. I contacted his wife, Elowen, and told her everything. She was shocked and devastated, but also grateful for the truth. Together, we exposed Jasper's affair to his company, resulting in his termination. His reputation was ruined and his marriage was in shambles. It wasn't revenge exactly, but it was a form of justice. The aftermath of the divorce was difficult. I struggled with depression, anxiety, and a deep sense of loneliness. I missed Imogen, not the woman she had become, but the woman I thought she was. I missed the companionship, the shared history, the comfort of knowing that someone was always there for me. But I knew that I had made the right decision. I couldn't stay in a relationship built on lies and betrayal. I needed to heal, to rebuild my life, and to find someone who truly deserved my love. I started seeing a therapist who helped me process my emotions and develop healthy coping mechanisms. I reconnected with old friends, took up new hobbies, and focused on my career. Slowly but surely, I began to heal. One day, while volunteering at a local animal shelter, I met a woman named Aurelia. She was kind, compassionate, and had a genuine love for animals. We bonded over our shared passion, and soon we were spending more and more time together. Aurelia was different from Imogen in almost every way. She was down-to-earth, unpretentious, and refreshingly honest. She didn't play games, she didn't try to manipulate me, and she didn't have any hidden agendas. She was simply herself, and I found that incredibly attractive. We started dating, and after a few months I realized that I was falling in love again. Aurelia made me feel safe, secure, and loved. She helped me to trust again, to believe that there were good people in the world and that I deserved to be happy. A year later, I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. We had a small, intimate wedding surrounded by our closest friends and family. It was the happiest day of my life. Looking back on my experience with Imogen, I don't regret anything. It was a painful chapter in my life, but it taught me valuable lessons about love, trust, and forgiveness. I learned that sometimes the best thing you can do is to walk away from a toxic situation, even if it hurts. I learned that you can't change people and that you shouldn't try to. And I learned that true love is out there, waiting for you if you're willing to open your heart and take a chance. The rain has stopped now and the sun is shining through the clouds. It's a new day, a new beginning, and I'm ready for it.